Getting pissed on my boyfriend? I am 16-year-old. I have been in a relationship with my boyfriend 17-year-old for a few weeks now. Despite the short duration of our relationship, things had been relatively smooth. There were a couple of minor mistakes and misunderstandings, but nothing that seemed significant enough to cause any lasting issues. It was the kind of start that felt promising, with no major red flags to suggest that things might spiral out of control. However, recent events have changed the way I perceive our relationship and my feelings toward him. For some context, I recently went to Ontario for a family member's wedding. It was a 4-day trip that had me away from home, my usual routine and regular interactions with my boyfriend. I returned on the 28th and sent him a message to let him know that I was back. His initial response seemed polite and genuinely interested as he replied, "Nice. How was your trip?" At the time, I was exhausted, having spent much of the day traveling and responding to messages from friends and family members who had reached out while I was away. In my sleep-deprived state, I made a mistake. I accidentally sent the wrong reply to Ethan, my boyfriend. The message I sent said, "What's your problem?" But it was okay. That reply was never intended for him. It was meant for someone else who had been giving me attitude earlier. The moment I realized my mistake, I felt a pang of panic. I quickly explained to Ethan that it was an error and apologized profusely. Unfortunately, my explanation did not seem to pacify him. Instead of accepting my apology, he responded with anger. His reply of "excuse me" marked the beginning of a tense and upsetting conversation. He accused me of downplaying the situation, implying that I thought he was stupid, and even went so far as to call me a liar. His reaction was unexpected and hurtful. I found myself caught off guard, unable to understand why he was reacting so strongly. I tried to remain calm and rational, explaining the mix-up as clearly as I could. I told him that I had been tired, juggling multiple conversations, and accidentally sent the wrong message. Despite my efforts to clarify, he continued to accuse me of lying and claimed that I was intentionally misleading him. This accusation stung, as I had always been honest and supportive of him throughout our relationship. I reminded him of this, pointing out that I had done nothing to warrant his lack of trust. Instead of calming down, he became even more upset. He told me to go playing nicey-nicey with the others, and then proceeded to call me a prick and told me to go fuck myself. I was shocked and deeply hurt by his words. This wasn't the Ethan I thought I knew. His reaction felt disproportionate to the situation and left me questioning what had triggered such an outburst. I asked him why he thought I was lying and whether he genuinely believed I had a problem with him. I reassured him that if I ever did have an issue, I would communicate it directly. Despite my attempts to explain and resolve the misunderstanding, he ignored my efforts and only responded with more hostility. When I sent him a detailed message outlining everything that had happened on my end, he simply stopped responding. Instead, he posted on his social media story, seemingly ignoring me entirely. She posted an update. The silence lasted for 2 days. During this time, I felt a mix of confusion, sadness, and frustration. I wondered why he wasn't willing to have a mature conversation about the situation. Then, I saw that he had posted about me on social media, calling me a female manipulator. The term felt like a slap in the face, as it suggested that I had been intentionally deceitful and manipulative in our relationship. This couldn't have been further from the truth. Determined to address the situation, I reached out to him and asked if we could talk. He responded with a dismissive "about," and added that if I wanted to talk about splitting up, we could. I took a deep breath and began explaining myself again. I reiterated that I had no reason to lie and that the message had been a genuine mistake. He responded by saying, "I just think it's a miscommunication. It's all adding up to it was meant for me and now a big lie out of it, but if that's not the case, I'll trust you." His words felt hollow, as if he were only begrudgingly agreeing to move past the issue without truly believing me. I told him, "It wasn't meant for you 100%. I have no reason to lie about this situation, especially since we agreed about speaking truthfully to each other about issues." Despite my reassurance, he ignored me for another 5 hours. At that point, I had reached my limit. I felt emotionally drained and disrespected. I decided to end things. I sent him a message saying, "We're done. I gave you a chance to communicate, but you didn't. Goodbye." His response was curt and dismissive. "Goodbye too." Feeling resolute in my decision, I blocked him. However, within minutes he found another way to contact me, sending me a message to criticize and demean me further. He called me needy, claimed I was torture to be with, and said he wished I didn't mess anyone else up. His words left me stunned. If he had been so unhappy in the relationship, why hadn't he ended it himself? His behavior felt contradictory and immature, as if he wanted to paint himself as the victim while simultaneously attacking me. I replied with a simple thumbs up emoji and blocked him again. I thought that would be the end of it, but then one of my friends decided to step in. She contacted him and ripped him a new one, calling him names and expressing her anger at how he had treated me. While I hadn't asked her to intervene, I understood her frustration and appreciated her loyalty. Ethan, however, used this as an opportunity to escalate the situation further. He messaged me on Facebook Messenger, threatening to take legal action against me and report me to the school board for bullying him. His accusations were baseless, as I hadn't said anything to him since blocking him. It was clear that he was trying to intimidate me, but I refused to engage further. Looking back, the entire ordeal has been exhausting and disheartening. Ethan's behavior revealed a side of him that I hadn't seen before, one that was quick to anger, unwilling to trust, and prone to lashing out. While I'm hurt by how things ended, I also feel a sense of relief. This experience has taught me the importance of recognizing red flags and prioritizing my own well-being. For now, I plan to focus on myself and take a break from dating. I want to spend time reflecting on what I want in a relationship and ensure that my future partnerships are built on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. Let's read some comment. It sounds like it was just a miscommunication. If he refuses to believe you and you are truly telling the truth, then that's all you can do. If he is too immature to come to you directly and talk it through, that's on him, and it sounds like you're better off without him. Maybe he just needs some time to process his emotions before he talks to you, but still. She replied to this comment was, "Thank you. And if he wanted to talk it through, he would." I talked to my best friend about it and she said the same thing. I just don't know what to do at this point because I don't see how he could have taken any of what I said the wrong way. Thank you for listening the story to the end. If you enjoy our videos, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Have a good day, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do it and hit the notification bell icon to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around you.